to support your research journey. So that's why we are looking at ProQuest Research Library.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
So, was there interruptions? Okay, sorry. Just make sure that you are muted all the time unless you have question. Okay, so that's number one. So number two is, okay, in getting some academic research materials, you need to apply some techniques, some search techniques. Yeah, so it is not so straightforward as the Google. So usually Google, you put in your terms and then you will find some materials relevant to you. But because these are very highly indexed information, so you need to apply some techniques to find this information in this research platform. And once you found this information, throughout your research journey, okay, even though it's like it might look very light to you now, but it's very, very important to know how to, once you found this information, how you can organize this information in a very proper way, so that when you want to apply this information, or if you want to start writing your research paper, you know all your information in one place, and it's easily for you to analyze, then you synthesize, then you can start writing the information. So if you put everything everywhere, so when you want to start writing, it's very messy, very difficult. So my suggestion is, when you found information, whether you found it in the web or you found from your institution or you found it elsewhere in the print format, make sure that you have it in one place, put it in, organize it well. Yeah. Okay, so that's the three things that we will look at for ProQuest Research Library. So let's zoom into ProQuest Research Library. So before I go into the ProQuest Research Library, I'm not sure how many of y'all are familiar with ProQuest Research Library. How many of y'all have used this research library platform in the past? Can you say, can you use the chat box and say yes if you have used, no if you have not used? Use the chat box. The chat box here. Let me look up for the chat box. Wait a minute, yeah. Okay, no problem. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Let's move on. Move forward on the research introduction to research library. Let's go in. So let me take you through how you can access to research library from your library portal. Yeah. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with your library portal here. Your access to your library from here. This page. If you scroll down, then you will see that it's actually ProQuest eBooks. So this is the collections of eBooks. Yeah, it's a collection of eBooks. So if you click on ProQuest here, ProQuest eBooks, that means you are accessing only to the content of eBooks. So, but when you click on ProQuest eJournal, that means you are accessing to ProQuest Research Library, where you can access to the scholarly journals, some trade journals, some magazines, some dissertation and theses, and so on. There are more. This is more like more of a research materials here. This is purely ebooks. Yeah. So these are the two main content I'm going to be talking about today. And next is, I would always encourage you to also explore your library repository, because your library repository has other materials that will support you in your research. Yeah, because in research, you do not only rely on one type of materials, but you need more materials to support your research. So you can even access to the internal repositories, theses as well. Yeah. So, but today's main focus is I'm going to talk about ProQuest eBooks and ProQuest eJournal. So now, how do I access it? If you go down a bit, you see a library online database guideline. So if you click on here, It's all there. How do you know what is the password for eBrary ebook? Yeah, the ProQuest eBook Central. What is the password for ProQuest eJournal? It's all here. It's here. So it's easy. It's all there. That's the idea on the portal itself. So it's much more easier for you to even access. So because I always believe once you know how to access to this content, exploring the information is easier. Okay, so now you know where to go. So let me go back. I hope you can access it now. Make sure that you are able to access. Okay. So now let's go to the research library. So this is when you click on the ProQuest eJournal, you will now come to this page, this landing page called Research Library. Yeah. So what is a research library? Research library contains information, multi-formatted information, diverse content from scholarly journals to working papers to some newspapers to the trade journals to conference papers and some dissertation and thesis as well. So you have multiple content type in this platform that covers different subjects. That means whether you are from arts and humanities, if you're doing research on language related research, linguistic related research, business related research, or even some of you have science related research, IT related research. So all that, yeah, because it's multidisciplinary. So if you are looking for information from a different type of subjects or topics, you will find it here because this is a multidisciplinary database. Okay, so this interface is, we call this a clean interface because it just has one search form, a search box, and also it is responsive to your to the devices that you're using. So apart from the desktop and laptop layout, it also supports the other devices such as your mobile devices, or if you're using iPad or using tablet. So it will actually respond accordingly. The layout will respond accordingly to the device that you are using. Yeah. So let's move on. Okay. So like I said, it supports many different subjects, from all this human sciences to technology to social sciences to arts and business and etc. So now what content? So this is what I call it multi varied type of content or multi-formatted content, because it has scholarly journal. So remember when we talk about your research papers, so one of the main component is talking about literature review. So in literature review, if you want to support your arguments, or if you want to analyze some information, scholarly journals will be highly used. Yeah, scholarly journals will be highly used to support your research. So apart from scholarly journals, other contents such as ebooks, trade journals and magazines are also important, especially when you want to formulate your research topic. Because if you don't look at what's happening currently, and if you want to start a research topic, I'm sure you will talk to your lecturers what research topic to start with. But if you are looking at, is this research topic is something is current, is it highly being debated, or is it going to be last in next 1-2 years? You know, it's just nice for you to, even after you graduate, it's still a valid thing to talk about. So it's very important to explore looking at the trade journals or newspapers, not only the international newspapers. Make sure that you look at our local newspapers. Sorry, if it's not muted, mute your speaker.
Baby, dah buka ke belum?
Hello. If you are not answering question or asking question, kindly mute it. Thank you. So the newspapers are very important as a primary source material. Yes, primary source material. So you know that when you want to start your literature review, sometimes it's a requirement to use some primary materials, some secondary source materials. So one of it, if you want to look at primary source materials, will be your newspapers. So newspapers, not necessarily from the research library. You can go into your library portal to look up for the local newspapers as well, because when you want if your research topic is much relevant to local context, make sure you look at the local newspapers and then look at the international newspapers as well. Okay, now next is working papers and conference proceeding papers. It's an additional alternative content, alternative references other than scholarly journals. You can access to conference papers here. Now, some of these examples of journals scholarly journals that you have to support your science and technology. You can just have a quick glance. I won't be going through each and every of this title. I will just want to just show you. Yeah, these are all available in this collection. Arts and humanities, and you have the law related subjects, social sciences, and then moving on with business. Yes, quite a huge collections for business. Magazines. So these are trade magazines which talks about the current trend, current issues. So if you want to, cite some of this information, that'd be good as well. Okay. So now let's go on. So now these are the content type you have within this collection. So you discover the content collection. Now, how do I find the right information that is relevant to my research topic? Okay. So that is your search strategies you need to apply. So search strategies for ProQuest platform is slightly different. Remember, I told it is no longer the same, like, you just put in the whole phrase into your Google and then you find information. It is not the same. So you need to apply some techniques. So the very easy one is, ProQuest, how it responds is the moment you put in the two key terms, it will automatically read it this way: digital and marketing. So if you want this as a phrase, you just put in a quotation. Okay, this techniques applies in many databases, also in ProQuest research database as well. And the rest of it, the system automatically will recognize the singular and plural nouns, the comparative and superlative adjectives, the spelling variances between the US and British. So these are all automatically recognized. Yeah. And the other thing that you want to take note is how to use the Boolean operators. So in Boolean operators, you just, for ProQuest, you just have to focus on using the operator or. Why is operator or important? Because you know that when you want to start your research, you will never rely on one search term. You should never rely on one search term. You always must do a broader background searches on your research topic. How could this, this search term can be also looked at differently from different context or from a different perspective. So you have to do your research earlier. So then you just say, okay, maybe it is known as indigenous, or sometimes it's natural, sometimes it's organic, sometimes it's original. So you just expand it using the operator or use the or to expand it. Yeah. And then you can, this is sometimes it's relevant, may not be useful all the time, but sometimes you want the two key terms to be in the closer proximity. That means in this example, you want the term marketing and the term effectiveness to be in the closer proximity of 5 words. So you use the proximity operator near /5, or you can change it to n/5, 10, 15, any numbers, keep it below 20. We will see examples later. Okay. And asterisk. So asterisk is a kind of a root expander. So we will not be able to identify, oh, okay, could it be economy? Could it be economics? Could it be economic? You can't be like or and going on or. So you just identify the root word and you just add the asterisk here. The system will automatically recognize the rest of the variances. So these are the normal tips that you need to take note. Yeah, but not to worry, because all these things that I talked about, it's already in your in this ProQuest e-learning tutorial. So later I'm going to share with you the link. Just give me a minute. Let me share the link. So if you go into this this video tutorial, hold on a second. I can't find the chat box, but never mind. I will share with you the link later with Puan Sharifah, so she can share it with you all. So this is basically the link to the e-learning tutorials. So each of these tutorials talking about the basic search, the search strategies, tips, or even publication search, advanced search. Each of these videos will only take 2 to 3 minutes of your time, just to understand how the search techniques works. Yeah. So in this it will be something like this. You basically go through the e-tutorial, and you probably have some test your knowledge and so on. It's kind of like a short courses for you to understand the search technique, so that I won't be spending much time on the search technique, so you can access to these video tutorials later and you can access it multiple times. Okay, now apart from that, you also need to take note if you have not done extensive research on the databases. So most databases will have their advanced search fields. Okay, what is this advanced search field? So these advanced search fields are the index, the index that will reflect on the content type that you have in your platform, in your collection. So if you have scholarly journals, obviously you will have abstract, you have the document title, you will have the subject headings. These are all index. So if you have content such as dissertation and thesis, will also have the abstract, then we'll have the title, we'll have the subjects, also some location as the subjects as well. So these are basically whatever content type you have within the collection, the search field will be a reflection of whatever the content type you have. So why is it important to have this search field? It's easier for us to locate the information. For example, if you're given a title and said, okay, go and look up for this all the materials or research that's relevant to teaching English as a second language, or if you want to look at some research that's even relevant to Internet of Things, for example, from the computer science or IT perspective, yeah. So if you have something in your mind, it's easy. You just go to the document title and just type it, okay, Internet of Things, or you want looking at teaching English as a second language, or you are looking at applied language, teaching language, applied language, or any teaching English as a foreign language, whatever that if it comes to your mind, then you just put in the title and see if is there any documents that is available in this title. Or if you're given references, you use this document title and look up for the information. This abstract is very important. So because you're going to do your research, and you definitely have to come up with the abstract, yeah. So abstract is very important. Abstract is the whole summary or the gist of your research, and make sure that whatever that terms that you have used to talk about, to summarize your research, has to be in part of this abstract. Make sure it's included, because that helps other users to discover your research. So if I'm searching for some terms and say, I want to search for this particular term to appear in the abstract, so I will use this term and see whether these terms available in the abstract. So I know if it's available in abstract, that means that content is relevant to me. It's very important. So remember, when you do your abstract, make sure that you include all that important key terms, and the summary has to be very, very very much relevant to what you have written in your research paper. Okay. Why is important? Number one is for you to describe about your research content, because usually when anybody want to start, if even you want to look up for a research now, you will read the abstract first. Yeah, you will always read the abstract first. So therefore it's important. Number two is, if you want your content to be discovered easily, make sure that you have a good abstracts as well. Okay, now we will move on to the next part. We don't want to spend much time here. Okay. Okay, this very quick summary of whatever that I've spoken about earlier. You can read, you can look at the videos later. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through that platforms itself. Hold on. Okay, here you go. So if you would have gone into your research platform, your university's, hold on a second. Did I miss it here? Hold on. Okay. If you would have gone here and if you clicked on PropQuest e-journal and enter your credential, this is where you will come to. This is the landing page that you come to, yeah? So this in here. So what do you find in this platform? You have about four databases. If you look at it, okay, your research library is here. Then you have given access to the publicly available content database as well. That has got content that's available in the open web as well. And the coronavirus research database and ebook central is also part of it. So when you search, it go through all these databases and gives you the results here. So just this one. So you want to go back to your basic search, you just click here on the left, just come back here. Okay, now let's say you're interested, your research is on some, let me take some very broad topic. So let's go back to education. Yeah. So let's assume that we want to do research with education related topic. So what you will get access is, you can see you have scholarly journals, some dissertation and theses, and trade journals and etc. Yeah, and conference papers and working papers and so on. So I don't want to go with basic search. I recommend you to use advanced search because you will get more targeted result. Yeah. Okay. Now let's say our research is about, okay, let's say you do not have research topic yet because you haven't formulated your research topic. You basically you have an idea that you want to search topic that's relevant to educational theory. Yeah, educational theory. So because this is a very broad topic, you want it to be at the subject level. You have not defined the topic yet. So you basically look at the subject level. You have many other headings, search fields that you can go, but I would suggest to keep to your all subjects and indexing if you're exploring a particular broad topic. Okay. So what happens now, it will go through all this content, all these different type of documents, and look at it from different languages. But you can, if you want to confine it to English, you can do so and just search it. So now this is basically, you are looking at educational theory as a broad subject. Yeah, broad subject. Okay, this so talks about even like empowerment, access to education in Pakistan and so on, and it's all coming from different type of content. So if you want to start your topic, research topic, remember I said you start with looking at either books because it will be very well structured and easy to understand with some analytical information, or you can even look at newspapers. What is that they're talking about, the current educational theory about, you can explore the newspapers as you go on, or if you click more here, you have other materials to explore. But let's say you have not decided on the topic. You go down a bit, look at the subject. Yeah, look at the subjects. Okay. So the educational theory here, it can be talking about any educational learning, higher education, teaching, or teaching methods, or even policies, or even relevant to schools or classrooms or whatever. So it's very, very wide. So you can explore it accordingly. If what that is interest to you, accordingly you can go through that. Now talking about the content, if you click here, you can see you have access to all the different type of content. So this different type of content is useful throughout your research journey. Yeah. So remember, if you have not formulated your research topic, if you're still like looking for ideas, so you can come to this platform and look at some of this materials, and before even you decide on the research topic. So, but once you are into the topic and you have your framework, you have your factors, you have all the detailed points that you want to emphasize, then you already have your research question to start searching. Yeah, so that is a different stage. So when you are in the research topic, research questions to be answered, you probably want to look at the scholarly journals or the dissertation and theses, or even the working papers, or and so on. So let's say you want to go for dissertation and thesis. Okay, what is this dissertation and thesis? Before you look at this dissertation and thesis, because you are still in your graduate studies, you have not doing your postgraduate yet. So it's okay to look at this, but these are probably very in-depth. Yeah, it can be very in-depth, but you can have an example. You can quickly look at an example of what has been done, what are the topic. So let's say if you have a plan to continue, then you can look at what topics to start with, so that you have continuity in when you're doing your masters or even your PhD. So let's say if you just want to get an idea, so you can come to this platform, this dissertation and thesis. These are actual dissertation and thesis. These are masters and doctoral theses by students across the world from different universities. So you can see this from Grand Canyon University. So that's why my advice is, if you want to look at your thesis, go to your internal repository, look at your local, your peers who have done the thesis, your seniors who have done the thesis, just to get an example, yeah, not to have the same topic, but just to give an example, what have they done, what is the research, what is the gap there that you can actually use that as your research topic. Okay. Now, this is just an example. So if you go into this topic, first thing you probably want to look at is the abstract. Okay, so remember, okay, read about this. What is this about? This is about, this is still relevant to educational technology or educational leadership. Yeah, so just read about this, and then you can go into the details to look at, how they have done their, what's the structure like. You don't have to you go into detail about all this, but basically, this is so you see review of literature review. Review of the literature is always the second chapter. So you can see what have they done, how have they done the literature review, how they have applied the existing research to argue on their points here. All the examples you can see from this dissertation and thesis. Yeah, this is the actual. Then you can move on using your apply the scholarly journals. Go to your scholarly journals. So these are many different scholarly journals that's relevant to this topics available here. So you can see how the scholarly journals. Okay. So this is evaluating students' assessment using optimal foraging theories. So it's all different type of research, but maybe it's not too much relevant to you. Then you can say, okay, no, I'm not interested in doing this. Basically, my research I'm very much decided on the topic. The topic is about 21st century skills. Okay, 21st century skills. Okay, this time you put this at the title. So you want all the articles where it talks about 21st century skills to be in the title. Yeah, so now it's no longer the subject, but it's going to be talking more about 21st century skills from different perspective from scholarly journals. Yeah, so you want to see, okay, what are the determinants of the 21st century skills, especially including the digital skills and so on. So you want to look at this. You can go in and read the abstract and moving on, getting the full text here as well. Okay, so depending on your research stage, yeah. So if you want to start with the broad topic using the subject indexing, or if you have finalized your topic, so even your topic can be, say, let's say if you're doing computer science, yeah. Let me take example for computer science. Okay, so if you are doing cybersecurity, say cybersecurity at the title level, but at the same time you say, okay, I'm going to look at cybersecurity and discussion about risk management at the abstract level. So you just do this. So what will happen is it will look up for all the titles which talks about cybersecurity. And, it's actually sometimes I realize it's spaced. Yeah, so I want to use both. Cybersecurity or cybersecurity on space, risk management, and you just basically risk management to apply at the to appear at the abstract. Okay. So as you see now, because you are going by title and refining, make sure that abstract the discussion of risk management is discussed at the abstract. You get more targeted result coming from different topic. So let's say this one here. This is a working paper. Okay, this is a working paper. This is about central banks risk management on cybersecurity and risk management and etc. So if you want to read that, of course, you can go in reading the abstract and then go into the full text. So as you go down, these are books. Some of these are books. Yeah, go to books. Okay, this is about the books that talks about cyber securities and cyber risk handbook, and this conference papers and so on. So actually it's very very easy to access. Once you are here, it's easy for you to access. And always look at subjects. Always look at subject. Are you looking at risk management, security management, internet crime, or whatever? So it's all up to you. How do you want to apply this? Okay, very importantly, I want to just re-emphasize this platform. It's multidisciplinary. So if you are, whether your research is relevant to business related, or if you are doing language related, or education related, or even social science related, engineering related, you will find your documents accordingly. Yeah, but it's just what changes is your search topic. Your search topic or your search subjects will change accordingly. Okay, and how do you want to apply it? So you can either use your document title, either use your subject indexing, or use your abstract. So if you want all this, if you want this topic also to apply at the abstract, so now you said, okay, cybersecurity or cybersecurity with space, either in the abstract, either in the apps, this is how I want it. I want it at the title, or it can be also at the okay. Now you see I changed this or, so cybersecurity at title, or cybersecurity at the abstracts. So now basically I want every of this document talks about cybersecurity in both in the title as well as in the abstract. So that's how you will look up for information. Yeah. So you just have to know how to use the search fields and the operators and the operator here. So you see that I have all. So this is how you will apply it. Okay. And sometimes if you don't want to get all this, you said, okay, show me only scholarly journals, basically. So you just confine to scholarly journals and tell that you just want to access to full text. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have a full text. If you don't want to see the abstract, you just confine to full text. And also look up for those who've been highly cited. The more it's cited, see, this one is cited so many times. Of course, you want to read. If you are doing research with cybersecurity, this paper, you should not miss it because it's been highly cited. So you will have to look up for why is it highly cited. Yeah, the more it's cited, the better it is. And sometimes you want to see references. Okay, even though you don't do extensive research, you basically see what are the references has been used in this book to come up with this journal. Yeah, what they use. Maybe you want to explore it further. Okay, now coming back to this page. Okay, so what we have done, let me recap. Yeah, so to apply the techniques, you will probably look at your videos later. So what we have done, we have identified some topics, some broad topics. We have identified the research question, the questions, probably the question I have extracted the search terms. And then what we did is we did one broad search, including all these materials, all these literatures. And then we will look at more specific titles, like, cybersecurity to appear at the title, cybersecurity to appear at the abstract, specifically on scholarly journals. And, we did the search. So if you know how to use the combination of the search terms, the search fields, and the source types, so it's much more easier. For those who are using for first time, I would always recommend it, leave it open as this, so that you can explore the subjects here. You can explore the subjects here and zoom in to look at the details. For those who say, okay, my objective is not looking at the older documents, I'm not doing historical related research, I want to see the current trend, then you just confine to last 5 years, you have much more lesser result. And if you want to say the latest, the most recent, then you change to most recent. If you want to go for relevance, then you leave it as relevance. Okay, so relevance means the more the terms cybersecurity appears, it's considered the more relevance to you. The most recent is based on the year, the currency. Okay. Okay, I have now what we have done so far. Again, another recap. So we have gone through from the very beginning, introduced to you the ProQuest Research Library, what content type you have. Then we looked at the search techniques. You can watch the videos. And now I've shown you examples how you can use the different type of search terms and apply some techniques and use the search fields and use the advanced search form to find information. So once you have found that information, now what you need to do next is you need to organize it, right? You need to organize it. So in this research platform, usually the content, usually it will be because it's on IP, your whatever the search that you do in the past will be there for a while, but once it's session out, it will no longer there. So if you want to come back and say, oh, if I want to run a search on English language teaching, for example, or if you want to look at subjects on English as a second language. So if you don't save it, after your session's out, it's no longer there. Yeah, but right now you can just click and say, okay, I can still access it. But the moment you don't save it, sessions out, then it's no longer, it becomes zero, nothing here. So the best part is you want to save this information. Yeah, make sure that you save this because you already found the literatures you have not analyzed, so you want to save it. So how do I save it? You basically click here to save this information. Okay, now when you want to save this information, you must because you are now on the IP, the system doesn't know who actually accessing to this platform, so it doesn't know where to save this information. So therefore, you need to have your research folder. Yeah, so you have to create your own folders. So you go into this people icon, you click on create a research account. Very easy. Just create a research account. Put in your email. Enter your email here. Enter your password. Confirm your password, and select all this to give the consent and create an account. So once you create the account, it will automatically approve it. You can use it right away. Immediately you can use it. So you log in here, you go in and sign in with your research account. Okay, you just sign in with your whatever that email that you have signed in, and just go in here. Okay, because this is your account, I will not go into use my ID in it. Let me open up my own access. Okay, so this is my access here. So I want to go into my research account, click here. Okay, sign in because I've already created mine, so I just sign in. Okay, so when I sign in, this is where my folder, my research folder, documents, searches, alerts, RSS feeds, and so on. So when I save my document, if I save my searches, it will be all here, searches here. I just save it. So what's the purpose of saving here? So that you can come back the next day, the subsequent days, you can come back and rerun the searches. So for example, this search here is about human capital development or even human resources development. So I can just click here to run the search. I don't have to remember, oh, do I use or do I put in quotation mark? What did I pick earlier? So you just save it, you just come back and rerun so that you can evaluate the materials later. So you can quickly evaluate here from here easily to find that information. So from here, let's say if you found that information that's relevant to you, and if you want to put into your folders, you just select these 3 and put it into the research folder. Okay, and just save it. So what happens now, if you click on your research folder, all these 3 documents will be available in the folders. Okay, so it will be available in your folder. Okay, here. But here you want to see from your saved documents. Okay, so it's available here, and you can come back. You don't have to go and start your search again. You can read from here, decide whether or not this is something relevant to you. You can either delete it, you can even add to a subfolder here. You can also export it to your citation management system if you want to. Okay, so this is where you use this as a research folder. Okay, now sometimes when you are here, you probably want to quickly move this into your research folder. From here, you want to put it into your research folder. So either you can go to the site, okay, and cite it, get the citation here. Just let me show you. Okay, so you can click here to cite it. If you don't do that way, you can just go back to one step here. So from here, let's say you are interested in this journal, and if you want to cite it or you want to export it to your citation management system, you can do so. You just click on the 3 dots here. Yeah, just click on the 3 dots. The internet is slowing down a bit. Okay. Okay, so when you click on the 3 dots, you will come to this page. Okay, there is a URL here. Basically, this is to, if you are like for instructors or lecturers here, if you want to share this information in your learning management system, if you find this article is relevant to your students, you just copy this URL and share it in your learning management system. So once the student clicks it, they will come to this page. Yeah, they just have to enter the credentials. That's it. And for students who want to download, you can download it from here to PDF. And if you want to save it to your research folder, you can save it to your Google Drive, to Microsoft OneDrive. And for those who want to compile everything into your citation management system, if you are exposed to citation management system, then you can go to the RIS file, yeah, RIS file, export it from here, and then import it from your Mendeley or import it from your Zotero. If you're using other than, if you have EndNotes, then it's EndNote. Yeah, so just import it from there. You just export from here to RIS file and import it from your existing citation management system. Okay. Why is it important for you to put everything into one place? Remember, I was saying, if you want to analyze the data, if you want to analyze the facts, and you want to synthesize it, if it's everywhere, it's very difficult. You cannot see the relevancy and also the sequence. You cannot see, okay, this should come first and this should become later. You cannot see that. So if you put it all in one place, it's easier for you to know, okay, I talk about this point first and then I talk about the next one later. Okay, so it's very, very organized when you put things in one place. Yeah, so learn to use in the very early stage before even you go for your extensive research, use citation management system, or otherwise use your local or Google Drive, or just as long as you have everything in one place, that will be great. Okay, so now what we have done so far, we have discovered the content type you have in this collection. We know how to apply some techniques to use the advanced search forms to find for information. Then you know how to evaluate those documents. You see if it's relevant to you, if it's highly cited, or what's the references used. And then you can now manage your documents into My Research folder. Either you use the documents itself to save it here, or you save your searches. Okay. Now what will happen is your research will not end very soon. Usually it's 3 to 4 months or more than that, 6 months or sometimes a year. So if you want to keep all your if you want to keep yourself updated with the subsequent development of your research. So for example, if you want to know about human capital or human resources related searches here, you just create an alert. Just create an alert. You name that as human resources or development or human capital development, and say, okay, alert me on monthly basis or weekly basis or weekly when you want to be notified. Just create the alert. Okay, when you create alert, what happens is system will send you an email and say, okay, there is a new dissertation on this, there's a new scholarly journals on this, there's a new news on this topic, which you want to have a quick look. So you can go and have a quick look and add, as you go on in your research, you just add it to your research paper. Okay. And in those who are like to use the RSS feed, you can use the RSS feed. I'm not sure if you are the RSS feed reader, but you can use the RSS feed also. Okay. Okay. I have covered all the important points for your research library. Do you have any question? Before I move on to the ebook. You have any question?
No, so far clear.
Okay, so far all we will move on. Yeah, we will move on to the next one. Okay, so the research library is very useful for you to start your, if you have a research paper to start, so you can go in and look up for titles, or even to, start your literature review in there. So apart from the research library, you have, remember we talked about the ebook collections. Let me share with you the site. Okay, coming back to this, scroll down. So ebook now I'm going to go into the ebook. Yeah. So if I click on it, you need to enter your credentials. I have automated my site, so I can access to this directly from here. So once you have clicked on it, you have to enter your ID and password that shared in the page just now. Yeah, you can find the information here. So you will come to this platform. So this platform, this is a different platform than earlier. So in this platform, what you have collections of ebooks. These are all ebooks, yeah, your ebooks that's been used in the past. So what, depending on your research topic again, or from which faculty or subjects of your research, or even if you're coming from a different background of your research, it's fine, because in this collection of books are also multidisciplinary. If you click on browse, you will know that you have subject that covers the arts and humanities, the fine arts, the architecture, business management, language, language and linguistic, literature, and some philosophy, and if you look at education as well, and some IT or engineering related, STEM related, STEM studies related topics. So you have everything, every subject, different subjects to support your research. So how do you want to search is basically very simple, very easy to discover. One is to the basic search, if you know the keyword, author, ISBN number, any information. But if you, hold on a second. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, so let's say if you are interested in looking for teaching, anything to do with teaching, for example, I just do a very basic search. Yeah? So teaching is something that very broad. So when I did that at the basic search, you can see these are all teaching related books. Outstanding teaching Islam, teaching gender, teaching adaptation, whatsoever. So many different teaching theories and etc. So if you want to be very specific, you can actually go into your advanced search field and say, okay, I want all the title that's relevant to probably teaching English, for example. Just leave it as teaching English and you just type something like that. So you will have quite a number of books, about 100 books that talks about teaching English, yeah, issues in teaching English, teaching secondary English, and so on. So these are books that are available to you, but there are also books says like this, yeah, available on request, for example. So that means this book is just an exposure to you. If you want to have this book, you need to request to the library to say, okay, I want this book to support my teaching. It's relevant to my subject or something like that. Just a justification to say why you need the book. Then the library will consider, if there's many requests on that particular book, they will consider buying it. But these are all depends on the library's decision, yeah, library team's decision. But the moment you see available, these are all available to you. That means you can read the book immediately. There is no problem. Right away you can read it. Yeah. So let's say if you're interested in this book. Okay, so I want to share with you the more later ones. Okay, let's say this one here. Okay, so if you click on this, that you see that your institution has unlimited access to this book. That means everybody can access. But at the same time, this authors here, the publishers have some restrictions on allowing you to print it into a PDF format. That means this is called digital right management. So that means they allow you to print to download 14 pages per day, 14 pages per day. So let's say if you're interested in the introduction is 4 pages, need assessment is 3 pages. In this, probably you can download all the first 4 chapters at one go per day in the PDF format. Yeah, in the PDF format. So once you have used up the 4 pages, the 14 pages, you don't have to worry, because tomorrow, the next day after 24 hours, this will come back to 14 again. So every day you can download 14 pages accordingly to the chapters if you want to download. Yeah. So now because I've downloaded the 4 page, I have 10. So once I finish the 10, tomorrow I will still have my 14 back. Yeah. So that is to download into a PDF format. When you download into a PDF format, it will not expire. You can save it into your local drive. You can save it to your Google Drive. You can share it into your learning management system. Yeah, if your topic is relevant to some of these chapters, just attach it to the topic so the student can access it. Or if you want to recommend this book to your students, you basically just share this link. Open up this link, just click on this link, share it into your learning management system. So this is like recommended reading to your students as well. Okay, now question is, can I download the book? Can I download the whole entire book? Yes, you can download the entire book, but you need to have your reader. It's called Adobe Digital Edition. So when you download the book, okay, I can't download from your account. Let me use my account again. Okay, so this is you see this is my account, ProQuest account. Okay, keep to this book again. Okay, so now if you click on download the book, you just download this book. Yeah. So the system will ask you whether you want to download into laptop or in any other devices. So now it recognizes mine is laptop. Just continue. So for those who are doing for the first time, make sure that you get your Adobe Digital Edition installed. After that, you go with this tab. Yeah. So this software must be installed first. Then you go with this tab. This is only for the first time. Yeah, first time user. Subsequently, you can skip this and you go with the done with this tab. Okay, now this is the loan concept. How long do you want to keep this book into your reader, which is the for offline reading purposes? Yeah. So you say maximum 21 days, then you just download this book. So now when I download this book, it is in the ACSM file. So if you click on the ACSM file, it will open up your Adobe Digital Edition and you will have the full book access into the Adobe Digital Edition. Okay, so you now, this is like you are downloading into a reader and you can take this reader without internet connection and you can read it anywhere you want to. It's all available here. This is the book. So if you click on library, so you can have collections of books in the reader. So I have 20 days to keep this book. After expire, if it's expire, I can just re-download it from this platform again. Just re-download it. Done. Okay, I can just re-download even before it expire. After expire, I can download. Before expire, I can still download it. Yeah. So this is how you can download the full book, download the whole book into a reader, and now read online. So usually, if you're interested in read this book online, it's very easy. You just click on the read online tools and say, okay, I want to read the introduction, basically, or if you want to look at talking about blended skills specifically, let's say you want to see is there anything talking about blended skills. Okay, so you can zoom into the chapter that talks much about blended skills, say at the blended skills at the need assessment. Okay, I want this as clear this blended skill as a one phrase. Okay. Put the quotation mark to just a phrase here. So you know that this which chapter that talks about this is the chapter 6 that talks about it, the part 6, and can zoom into that chapter. You can bookmark this page. Yeah. And you can do highlights, okay, and add some notes. Okay, this talking about blended skills. Okay, so this whatever notes that you do here, so it's either the notes relevant to this topic or the notes you want to share with your students and to come up with the viewpoints, and you can collaborate later. So what happens now, if I've already put some notes, I want to share this page to my students. Yeah, so what I do is basically I just copy this URL, take it to your learning management system and share it into your learning management system. And you can make it as an assignment and say, okay, at this page, this is where we want to do a discussion, come back with some viewpoints or whatever. So you use this as a teaching material. So that's all, very straightforward. So you can put in the notes. Students can also view the notes by clicking on the notes. Yeah, and then they can come back with some discussion. Okay. Now, if you want to, if you decided to do a full download here, you still can do a download. You can do a chapter download. You can copy the pages here. You can also do a page download. So let's say you want a full chapter, you just want to download page 32 to 34. You can do so. Okay, you know how to share these pages easily, and you can cite this information as well immediately. And of course, this highlight notes and bookmark. Okay, so now if you have, let's say you make 3 different notes in this page, and if you want to keep track where you make the notes when you come back next, always go to the start page. Yeah, so start page will tell you where you make the notes, where you highlight, which one you bookmark, and so on. Okay, now sometimes when you explore this information, when you want to do research, of course, you will not only rely on one books. Yeah, you probably will look at other books that's relevant to your research. So let's say if you want to do research on, say, digital marketing. Okay, so let's say digital marketing. So these are some books that talks about digital marketing. This is also relevant to social marketing digital, emerging issues in digital marketing. So what you can do is just add this into your bookshelf. Okay, add to your bookshelf, and you can, this is already be added. So if you want to add these others like this one here, you just add it. Yeah? So it is to be added. So you can have collections of books in your bookshelf. So go back to your bookshelf. Okay, so you can see under the digital, this is my book, yeah, this digital marketing. I have so many books that I've added. What I can do now is I can immediately share this information. So this is useful for lecturers who wants to make a reading list for students, or for students who want to share the relevant books to do your research for your discussion or project papers or whatever. Okay, so you basically just click on the folder and share this whole folder. Okay, this whole folder. So what happens when you share this folder, when any of your person that you share click on it, they will be able to access to all the books from here. And all that they need to do is basically just enter their credentials. Make sure that you have to put in your own credential, because this cannot be shared with outside your institution, only within your institution. So then they can access to this information, they access to the notes and so on. But remember, I said this available on request is something you need to put a request. You may not be able to access to the full access of these books, but when you see available, you will be able to access to the whole entire content. Okay, so now there will be also some books. Yeah, so if I put in something like this, if I click search, you have your huge collections of books. But that is inclusive of available on request. So if you want only those completely available to you, you just put in own and subscribe by my library. So these are all the books, that 200,000 old books available to you. Okay, so from here, if you want to say, okay, I want to access to books that are completely digital, right, management free. So you can say, okay, give me the unlimited access content. Okay, so these are all the 33,000 books. So talk about business or economics. Okay, maybe you want to read these books. Okay, which is just for example. So you will see that there are no copy, print or download. So you can download this book into a PDF. So if you come across any books with these notes, that means you can download those books into a PDF completely. You can move around with your current tablets to Kindles or whatever you want to. Okay. Okay, so I have covered all the important points that you will need to support your the content that you need to support your research. So one is your research library, and this one is the ebook collection. Yeah, ebook collection. So I've shared this. This is very straightforward. So I did not spend much time here, because I know most of you come from the digital literacy background. So I did not go much detail about this. Is enough for you to explore. Okay. Of course, discovering the book is easy. You just put in the names, or you can even browse, like we talked about how you can browse those content, or you can search by basic searches here and so on. Okay, so now I'm open up this session for a Q&A session. Open this session for a Q&A. Any questions so far? You can ask the question for the ProQuest Research Library, yeah, the first one, and the second one is the ebook collection as well. Do you have any question? You can unmute because I don't see the chat button. Yeah? I couldn't see the chat button from just now. So you can use the, you can unmute and talk if you want to. Tak ada soalan? Looks all okay? Yeah.
Untuk dapat full access tu kena linkkan dengan email ke UPTM
Yeah. You can use either. Actually, you can use your personal email, but I recommend to use the KUTPM the email from your institution lah, better.
Hi, I have a question. Okay, some
Yeah.
students are encouraged to use Mendeley, right? Mendeley as a reference manager. So whenever the students download journals, right, do you actually like integrate with the Mendeley or any other reference manager available?
Okay, let me show you. Actually, yes, it's not because Mendeley or any other reference, they use the RIS file. Yeah, hold on. Let me share you how it works. Hold on a second. Do you that's the thing I want to know you. So you are using Mendeley, yeah? The students use Mendeley for citation management system, kan?
Yeah, because I do encourage all students to use at least one type of software for managing their references. So it's much more easier if the students, like say, if they wish to download the journals and straight away into the reference manager without using their space in, their laptop or
Okay, okay, I show you
computer.
that. How? Hold on a second. Okay, coming back to here. So remember, once you session out, whatever the research that you did earlier is no longer here. Yeah. So you probably have to start your research. Let's go back to the advanced search. Okay. Now, this is just an example. So I'm going to start with Internet of Things. Yeah. At the title level, just an example to show how you can download the to your Mendeley. Okay, so there's many results. Let's say we want to focus on the scholarly journals. Okay, so let's say you're interested in this particular topic, or maybe any others. Let me show you a few others. Okay, maybe this one here. So let's say you're interested in this, and if you open up this scholarly journals and you want to import this to your Mendeley, yeah? So you go to the three dots here. Okay, so you see that it's actually option for citation management export to citation export. So of course, if you are using those who are using RefWorks, they go directly from here. If they use Noodle Tools, it's a different citation management system. They go directly from here. But if you are using other than any of these, if you're using like EndNote or citation or Mendeley, Mendeley is the one you probably be using, and Citevi or Zotero, any other, use the RIS file, because the most of the citation management system, they actually recognize the RIS file. So you use the RIS file, you export it to your RIS file now. So when you are here, you basically just continue, okay, and it will open up and ask you to open in what format. Yeah? Hold on a second. Okay, what format? So usually it's recommended to use the Notepad. Okay, click on Notepad. Okay. So it's already opened in the Notepad. So you save this in, either you save these first in your local drive, and then you can import it. You go to your Mendeley. There should be a function to import RIS file. Yeah, there should be a function to import your RIS file. So when you import it, all this information will be go into your Mendeley. So when you want to cite it, it's much easier. Then you straight away, when you're writing, you go associate that your paper with the Mendeley, and then you just do your in-text citation, or you want to do your references. It's easier. Okay. So is it okay that this is how it works? You have to use Mendeley to import it.
Okay, right. So the RIS file. Oh, okay. So this need to download as a RIS file. Okay.
Yeah. So and if you want to associate the PDF, then you have to do twice. You download the PDF, then you go and import the PDF from the Mendeley as well. So one is the RIS file in the text form, the Notepad, and the other one is if it allows you to put in the full text, then you download the full text into PDF and add it to your Mendeley.
So it for the Mendeley, meaning that students need to download and into a RIS file and then to change it as a PDF. So the process like twice to keep into the reference manager.
Yeah. Even if you use RefWorks or any, actually they usually will only look at the notepad first, the text file first, the RIS file first, then only the PDF. PDF is usually associating the content. It doesn't import together. Usually it's like that. So when you only import the indexes.
So actually, is it WordPress have the ability like an app? Let's say if they want to read whatever they research, they keep one place and then they want to read again. So it is possible, or?
Okay, you mean if they download all the research folder that I showed earlier is the place that I think you should just keep everything there and then import it to your citation management system if you decided to import. Yeah, let me show you that as well. Hold on a second. I have to use my ID again. Right to here. So this is the research folder. They can actually save their whatever that articles they think is relevant in the research folder first, and then you shift it to the citation management system if they decided if it's relevant. Okay, hold on, let me show you that as well. Okay, here this the research folder where you can keep all the documents. So if they want to cite it immediately, they can cite it, or they can actually at the bottom there will be a exporting to a citation management system. At the bottom here there should be a, if you want to export, you just export it to the citation management system. Hold on, let it download. Okay, it's downloading. What will happen is you will see the site. You can select the citations file here, but at the same time, you will see export to your citation management system. So look up for the RIS file and download it from here. You can do two ways. Either you directly import it from the, to your RIS, to your citation management system, or you can save it into this folder. Then you can, use this to export, use the site to export it. You can do two ways.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, usually it will open up. It is not opening up for me right now. It's okay, but that's how it works. You should explore that. Okay, any other question?
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
The materials are all free, right? And for the restricted materials, we just have to wait for a few days to be able to download all of the pages. And there's no such thing as premium accounts to get the materials faster or whatnot, right?
Oh, okay. No, but these are all, whatever that you have, it's accessible for you right now. But only different is when you access to the ebooks. Hold on. To the ebooks. Okay. So when you go to your ebooks, is because you have the materials. Okay, not this one. So you will have some with this, right, available on request. Okay, this means this book is just available for you to read for 5 minutes. So if you go in and if you read it, you basically can read it for 5 minutes. You need to request for this book. So if you click here, it will, if you already have access to, I mean, because I don't have it access in here, it will come up with a request form, your name, your email address, and say why is it you need that book. Then the request will go to your library team. So the library team will have a quick assessment and say, okay, this book, if it's highly, being requested by students, then they will make a decision to buy, or they can also say, no, this is decline. We are not purchasing this book. So they can have the decision by themselves. So other than that, of course, you have 200,000 over books available. Of course, it's available to you in full. Yeah, in full you can access it accordingly, like this one, unlimited access. Okay, is that clear right now?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any other question?
Okay, any another question? Okay, Madam Korinji, I think untuk setakat ni kot hari ini. So, terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada semua penyertaan dan Madam Korinji ya. Thank you very much semua.
Thank you so much, Puan Sharifah, and all the lecturers who have put in a lot of time to organize this session. Thank you so much. Then for the students who participated, thank you and have a great day. It's a Friday. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Students, please be reminded that the attendance through Google Forms will be available. Maybe for section Dr. Farha, you need to ask her. And for my section, already given. All right, please don't forget to fill in your attendance for today. Thank you very much, guys. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye. Take care.
Salam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.